Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and this is your stimulus check update for the next stimulus package for Tuesday, February 2nd. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Tuesday afternoon so far. In this video, I'll be discussing updates in regards to the current relief package and the third stimulus check. I'll also be discussing the $1,400 direct payments, what Joe Manchin is now saying about passing this bill through reconciliation, and then I'll be wrapping up this video by answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. But first, if you would remember quickly, liking this video, give me a big thumbs up. It really just helps with the YouTube algorithm in terms of pushing this video out to other viewers like you, and hopefully helping other people like you as well. Okay, so for those of you in support of Joe Biden's current relief plan, which Democrats are moving forward via reconciliation, I have some very good news. From the office of Joe Manchin, the one Democrat we really weren't sure which way he'd vote, considering his hesitations towards the package, it seems like he's having a change of heart. The statement, which is also up on the screen, reads, "I will vote to move forward with the budget process because we must address the urgency of the crisis. But let me be clear, and these are words I share with President Biden, our focus must be targeted on the virus crisis and Americans who have been impacted by this pandemic. The President remains hopeful that we can have bipartisan support moving forward. I will only support proposals that get us through and end the pain of this pandemic. For the sake of the country, we must work together with laser focus to defeat the virus crisis, support our neighbors and communities who continue to suffer, and get back to a more normal life as quickly as possible." So, there you have it. Joe Manchin is confirming that he will vote in approval of the Democrats' upcoming relief package. Manchin will be the key 50th vote in the Senate for the Democrats, with Vice President Kamala Harris as the tiebreaker, allowing this bill to pass. Of course, this is just on the budget resolution, which will allow Democrats to then pass a bill under reconciliation. The budget resolution is the first step in passing a bill through reconciliation. After that, we may need to see some slight changes to Joe Biden's proposal, because as you saw in Manchins Statement, he only wants to see measures in the bill that relate to the virus. So, provisions such as the one that would increase the federal minimum wage up to $15 per hour may be out, considering it doesn't necessarily relate to the situation at hand. While raising the federal minimum wage up to $15 per hour could be helpful, and you can make some strong arguments for that, it won't necessarily help defeat the virus and help us get back to normalcy. Speaking of Joe Manchin, he's really been considered to be a thorn in the Democrat side, by acting in a more bipartisan way, rather than acting completely partisan, and attempting to do things such as remove the filibuster. So, now, the co-founders of No Excuses PAC are starting the process to have him, in addition to Kirsten Sinema, a state senator in Arizona, primaried in their next elections. What this means is that rather than having them be the two Democrats running in those states as the main candidates, they're hoping to find a more progressive Democrat that will go along with more of their line of policies. Progressive Democrats want to see the filibuster removed, which would allow for them to pass any piece of legislation with a simple majority, such as 51 votes, rather than needing 60 votes. Since Manchin and Sinema oppose removing the filibuster, for obvious reasons, Democrats want them gone. Now, why is the filibuster important? Well, in my opinion at least, it helps cool things down just a bit, and also forces the two sides to work together in a bipartisan way. We can't just have one party passing whatever they want through whenever they want. Because while it may be a great thing when the party you vote for is in control, because the opposing party can't block any bills, it would be an absolute nightmare when the other party can control once again. So if they remove the filibuster now, Democrats could pass whatever measures they wanted, such as the Green New Deal, $15 per hour, etc. However, if the Republicans regain control at a later date, they could then pass whatever measures they wanted in return, which could be a real nightmare for Democrats. The entire reason for having the filibuster rule in the Senate was to make sure that when bills landed on the president's desk, we at least had some type of bipartisanship. Even though the filibuster can certainly slow some things down, such as desperately needed aid for Americans, in other cases, in my opinion at least, it's very important. So really interesting stuff there, with Joe Manchin now coming out in approval of the budget resolution after VP Kamala Harris amps up the pressure by visiting his home state, and now a group targeting him in his next election. But again, the takeaway here is that it looks like Democrats should be able to pass Biden's proposal through reconciliation, and even though it is a lengthy process, they should be able to have this accomplished by the middle of March. In the meantime, as always, all we can continue to do is hang in there, stay strong, and hope for the best. Okay, so at this point in time, I'm going to move right along to answering some of the comments and questions that I received in my previous video. And if you do have any other comments or questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do try to answer as many of the comments and questions as I possibly can, but for those comments and questions I'm not able to respond to, I do try to pick some of the more popular ones to answer in the next video in video form. Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the first comment to this video, which is from Terry. Terry says, what if I didn't get the first one, but I got the second one? Okay, thank you so much for your question, Terry, and first off, I'm incredibly sorry that you never received your first direct payment. In this case, what you can do to receive it is to claim a $1,200 credit on the tax returns that you filed this year. The $1,200, of course, is the amount that you should have received in the first round. This way, you'll receive the money as a tax refund. Even though I'm sure you would have much rather have received this money several months earlier, receiving it as a tax refund will certainly be better than never receiving it at all. Okay, moving along to the next comment to this video, which is from Richard. Richard says, hey Josh, if a senior lives and receives Social Security outside the United States, are they entitled to receive these stimulus checks? Alright, thank you so much for your question, Richard. And yes, even if you're an expat living abroad, you're definitely still entitled to receiving these direct payments. In your case, since you're receiving Social Security benefits, you should still receive your payment automatically in the same way that you normally receive your benefits. For others who are not yet on Social Security benefits, they may need to file a tax return in order to receive them. At this point, if you haven't received your money for which you should be eligible for, then you can always fill out a quick tax return even if you aren't working and claim the $1,800 that way. This way, you can receive your payment in the form of a tax refund. Also, what I recommend for you to do at this point, since you haven't received your payment yet, is to check the payment portal, which is located on the IRS website. The payment portal will be your #1 resource in finding out exactly when you should expect to receive your payment, and also through which method. Alright, so on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. If you did enjoy the content in this video, and you'd like to see more videos like it, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It is completely free to do so, and it's a great support to me. Also, if you'd like to receive 4 free stocks from Webull, with 2 of them valued all the way up to $1,600 each, or 1 free stock from Robinhood just for signing up and linking your bank account, please feel free to claim those free stocks by clicking the link in the description box below. And finally, if you join Rakuten with my referral link in the description box below and spend at least $20, Rakuten will give you $20 cash back. This means that you can buy an item through Rakuten with one of their referral links, such as Nike, for $20, which would be right around $22 after tax, and Rakuten will give you $20 just for making that purchase. This is just an incredible deal that I would love for everyone to take advantage of. Okay, so until next time, I'll see you guys, and I hope you have a great day today.